Hey guys, this is Sudeep here, and this is the Pixel to Excel. It's been more than 8 months since this phone has been released, and it's been more than 6 months since I've been using this phone. And I guess it's time to share my experience of how living with the Pixel to Excel and also sharing my long term review of the phone itself. Now, with that being said, let's get started with the build quality. The build quality is based upon two things, being both minimal and throwing premium design at the consumer. Well, it is very minimal in terms of the design language and also in the color scheme itself, but also at the same time is also premium, which means it is good to look from other person's view. And also with that, it is thin AF, so you don't have any problem when you hold it in your hand, and it is sleek to look upon. My major concern apart from these is the removal of the headphone jack. While it is still the major port of music consumption for us, it's been removed by Google this year, even after teasing them last year for what Apple did by removing the headphone jack. So that's something which is a major concern towards me, as said. Now, getting back to the buttons, I would say it is very well built, only the volume rockers, whereas the certain power button itself is not that much of something you would expect from such a phone. Why? It is colored. I love it. It is orange in color and everything, yet this is squishy AF, which means, for to simply explain it, if you actually press it from both ends of the phone, power button itself, it acts like a seesaw, to be frank, and I didn't expect that from such a phone. Also, the camera bump, which is the slightest, yet I didn't expect such a camera bump, and it does have an awkward feeling when you keep it on a flat surface. Overall, the build design is something you should have a perspective from your own side. I did love it. I loved how minimal the phone looked and how the color scheme itself went upon, and it is a mixed bag, to be frank. And ending that up, we need to go to the next part, which is the display and software, and how I felt for the past 6 months. The display is not something that is that of the S9 Plus or S8 or Samsung's display, or it is not that of the 2.5D curved display which we have in a phone. It is unique to the Pixel to XL, and the display itself is an 18:9 display. The resolution, I don't need to be talking about specs, I'll just share my experience. No oversaturation, and the colors are not too pumped, and it is picture perfect. And also, I received the variant with no screen burn-in issue and stuff, so I am happy with that. Then talking about the brightness, it does get little less bright outdoors, so that's a con right here. And inside, I guess it's seriously well lit, so I don't have any problem on that part. Going to software, it runs on 8.2 Oreo, and why wouldn't you love stock Android? It has all the best features you can ever have, and it is stock Android, and it is pure. Coming with 4GB of RAM and 64GB onboard storage with unlimited cloud storage, this thing packs some punch for what software it brings with it. It is currently at the 8.1 Oreo with the monthly security updates running around, and it has every single feature you can expect it from. You have the on-screen buttons, which is quite minimal. You have the certain software which turns from black or white themed with your wallpaper. You have the Google Now when you swipe from the right side to your left. You have your custom Oreo notification shade, you have your settings, you have your pip feature. Everything which you would expect from your stock Android is actually here, and you wouldn't be complaining about any of it. The settings bar is much more versatile, and there are some exclusive features which are available just in the Pixel to XL in terms of software. While it can be ported, etc., it is still the best on the Pixel 2. Here on the Pixel 2 XL, I would say the whole experience with the software is certainly stunning as how it was in the Pixel XL or the Pixel last year. It is the best, and they say is going to be getting Android P and Android Q faster than ever than any other phones outside of the market, because it's certainly what Google tries to give importance to. So on the whole, the software is seriously great. And coming back to the lock screen part, yes, you have Face ID, which is the normal Face ID which you get, and you have the fingerprint scanner. Now, not deviating from the part, the fingerprint scanner is also seriously great on this phone. I mean, seriously great. It is fast. You don't have any software issues which you find in the Android One phone sometimes, or even sometimes in certain Android phones which runs pure stock Android. And other features which I said is inclusive and exclusive to this certain Pixel 2 itself include the always on display, which has helped me a lot. And the other thing is 3D touch, obviously, but this is an underrated feature, but this has helped me a lot over the past 6 months. It is something which is versatile, and with the addition of sending these shortcuts outside as certain apps itself is another great thing which I've noticed with the 8.1 update. After that, it comes directly to another exclusive feature called as Now Playing, where it senses the song which plays around you and it actually says the song, which is actually helped me in some places and actually not. And it is also wrong sometimes. So that's a thing with the software, but it is most for most of the part. Then comes the active edge or the squeeze feature for Assistant, and I've loved it. I've set the right amount of sensitivity for the squeeze, and I loved how this worked for most of the part. It helped me a lot. Rather than calling OK Google or pressing that little home button, this seemed much more efficient. And also, squeeze for silence is one of the best things which is there for this squeeze feature, rather than what happened with the HTC stuff. It didn't get mixed up though. After this, the software is something aside. The charging time and the charging speed is different. The charger comes with the charge head and is USB-C to USB-C cable. The phone charges rapidly, that is very rapidly, and it charges within 45 minutes or so, and I guess it's one of the best. Yet I feel this should have been a USB to USB type C cable. Now overall, the battery performance in my usage has been really great, and I do not have any complaints. It runs for more than 1.5 days for my usage, and I'm seriously pretty happy with what's been happening with the battery life. And also the call reception is seriously great, and we hold it does give a premium look, although it is a phone which is minimal. Now, leaving design aside, this little lens right here is what made noise when this phone came outside, and it still makes noise for the picture clarity it produces. Now, I also made a comprehensive and a detailed camera review. You could go ahead and check that. I'll leave cards, but before, we'll have some camera samples and talk about the camera itself. It has packed features such as portrait, it has AR stickers, and this little lens right here has a wider aperture, and also it has quad LED flash, which is great too. Now, not talking too much about it, I'll just show you some samples of photos which actually explain how good this phone is at, and you can also check out my review as said. Now, the photos are crisp, clear, and it also has well lit near nature. Even without the portrait feature, the blur is seriously great, and in terms of portrait, it works on objects, animals, and also humans such as myself in any condition. And it does work on the front camera too, which is an extra addition, and this is all done by software. The saturation is not too far, and the amount of brightness attached to a low light image is not too less, and the amount of clarity it gives also is picture perfect, so I don't have any complaints on that. Even in the low lit situation, it is seriously great. Now, you could also check out my review as said. Go ahead, check it out. And the AR stickers is another great addition which I loved, and thanks to Google, it's been gradually updated with every update, so I've been loving what's been happening. So to sum all this up, the Pixel 2 XL is a mixed bag of a device which is premium and it is high priced. It brings something which is much more different than that you would expect from Apple or any other brand. For it makes it fun using with the software which it has, and a minimal design language which it carries over with its hardware. So with that being said, this is Sudeep SD here. I hope you loved the video. This was my take on the Pixel 2 XL and how it wholehandedly had me in these past 6 months. So with that being said, this is Sudeep SD here. I am leaving out. I hope you liked the video. Peace out.